Anyways, my big long tangent of shuffling cards for like 20 minutes while I talk about games that I made. So we're gonna play one day at a time. So we're gonna roll a 6-sided die to discover where our homey little cottage is located. It's probably 4. No, it's not. It's 5. So we are located beneath a hill. All right, let's take a moment to envision your home, starting with the walk leading up to it. Which direction does the front door face? How have you decorated the space just outside it? What sounds and scents drift towards you? Okay, so let's start that. So, well, I mean, beneath a hill, immediately I envision like sort of like a Hobbit-esque door right inside of a hill. So we've got this maybe it's like a larger, maybe it's kind of like a turtle, you know? So like, where's my paper? I'm gonna draw it. Put it in here. Next to our summoning circle. Like if it's like there's like a top of the hill and there's a smaller hill and there's like so it's kind of like an igloo, but maybe like there's like, this is like a smaller lump of the hill. Maybe the hill like continues on. And it's nice and grassy. Lots of bright green grass on this hill. The door faces and there's a window here. Maybe it's bigger than that. I don't know. We have some windows in the side of the hill because it's beneath a hill. In a hill. It's facing, this window's gonna be bigger than that. I want a large window. There, east. It's facing east. Front door faces east. I've decorated this space so outside we've got like cobblestones. I mean, I didn't really. Maybe I did. Decorated that. We've got a large front window. We're inside the hill. And there's like... This is all just gonna be like gardening, like... Got plants growing and like maybe like a trellis of some sort. And then like maybe these are just like little plants. And there's like flowers that grow on the hill around the door. There's a little peephole in the door. And everywhere else is just like lovely, really like a natural grass. Maybe there's a nice tree here. And there's probably like a tree back here, kind of on the other side of the hill. And maybe this like leads into a forest lands or something. That's where we live. What sounds and scents drift towards you? Well, if you're and actually, you know what? There's gonna be like a bench outside here that you can like sit in. There's like maybe a bucket. Collect rainwater, shovel, you know, miscellaneous tools in the area. So if you sit on this nice bench just outside the front door here, you can hear the distant chirping of birds. You can hear a gentle breeze rustling through the trees or across kind of the more open landscape here. You can smell the scent of flowers and fresh grass. know, some of the flowers, especially when the flowers are in bloom. And then we will go inside. What can you see from the doorway? I don't know if I'm gonna actually draw that a lot. You can see, so when we go inside, if it's morning time, there's some bright lighting coming in from that main front door, so it like kind of spills into that entire entry room. The entry room is circular, and it's you can see that there is maybe there's like a nice kind of sitting room in the entryway. All the furniture is made out of kind of like knotted wood, really natural, kind of maybe just looks like maybe the tree itself was made out of this knotted wood table and chairs. There's lots of flowers on the vases on the tables and chairs, or not on the chairs. Maybe there is. That'd be interesting. I imagine the walls maybe are kind of like curved. When I say the room is circular, maybe it's kind of curved to fit, because, you know, if we think about how big the hill is, maybe the front ceiling, kind of like packed earth on the walls, maybe some like hardwood sort of floorboards on the ground that are kind of more like aged and weathered. There's lots of knickknacks. Maybe there is like a chimney up here with a little fireplace inside, and there's like different knickknacks. Those are like things like cool looking rocks or an interestingly shaped driftwood. And we're definitely gonna have a pet. I mean, I feel like a pet cat. That's too cliche maybe, but that's where I'm at. Especially if we're gonna be some kind of like forest witch person, that's where I'm at. We have definitely lots of interesting things. And I have a cat that paws around my home. Okay, so a pet bat. Oh. I don't want to get rabies. Aren't bats like the main source of people who get rabies? You get bitten by a bat and you didn't even realize. And then you die. That's too dark. Okay. So today, we're gonna roll a die. We'll draw 2 cards. Okay, so here's our 2 cards. I lay them out like this. Roll again to see what kind of experience you had involving the cards. It's a 6, so a planned encounter with these cards. So this is like the similar structure to like my Necrodancer game that I ripped off from a different game. So it's a planned encounter. So today, Saturday, Man of Hearts and Jack of Clubs. Practice a musical instrument. Voice issuing from a massive urn. This is a planned encounter. What? How does this? Alright, so today, Saturday, I have my planned scheduled every Saturday. I practice the bassoon at 3:00 p.m. sharp for 1 hour, and actually no, it's more like 57 minutes. So this Saturday, 3 p.m., I pull out my bassoon and get settled onto my little bench here And I begin rehearsing first with some scales, some different kind of technical exercises, and then I pick one of my favorite songs, which is Auld Lang Syne, that I play. And right in the middle of my third rendition, I hear a voice coming from somewhere in maybe on the other side of the hill. That's still like a neighbor, or I don't know, somewhere off screen. We hear a voice that says, I should set up a voice thingy like Elet has for shoes. A voice comes and says, "Oh, I'm getting tired of this song. Can we play something else?" And I look up, startled, set my bassoon down carefully, and say, "What was that? Who's there?" And the voice says, "This was me, the neighbor." And I say, "I don't think I have a neighbor. What are you talking about?" And then I get up and investigate the source of the voice. And I notice suddenly there is a massive urn. Just a few steps down from my home. It is purple, of course. And I look at it. It's about as big as I am. I'm presuming I'm like a human-sized person. I'm telling you that now. I'm not presuming it. We know it. And I say, "Hello there. I've not seen you before." "Yeah, I just moved in yesterday from up north." And I peer into the urn because I'm curious of the source of the voice, and you hear, "Ah, hey, that's not very polite. Please." And I apologize, flustered, and I say, "Well, what's your favorite song? I can try and play it on the bassoon." And the voice in the urn says, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." And so I say, "I know that one. Good." I walk back up over to my perch and sit down on the bench and begin playing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" on my bassoon. I close my eyes just as I really get into the music, and when I open them again, the urn is like right there. I'm not quite sure how it moved, but it arrived here. And then I continue playing, and the little voice out of the urn says, "This is very lovely. I will be back next." Or no, then I say, "Yeah, I practice every week. My bassoon. It's my favorite instrument." And we make a plan that every week we can play the bassoon together. Maybe I will even teach the mysterious voice in the urn how to play their own instrument. But we'll have to see next week. That's the end of Saturday. Now it's Sunday. 3 cards. And it is going to be another plant encounter. I really have a routine here. So 2 diamonds. So we got a 7, a 6, and a 7. Potted plant whose health reflects your own, and a book of fairy tales. And then we've got another neighbor. Full portrait who travels through paintings. So on Sunday, I'm not quite sure what they are, what are they getting at with that? On Sunday, I sit inside in a really big, enormous, comfy armchair that's like kind of consumes me a little bit when I'm sitting in it. It's really like probably like the size. Oh, Jesus, sorry. It's probably like the size of like the top of that armchair probably almost brushes the ceiling. It was a nightmare to get in here. Honestly, we needed to get a witch to use a shrinking spell, and then then it wore off and it fit in there. So like, I hope I'm not gonna move anytime soon. But it's in there. It's really great and comfortable. Next to it is my potted plant that has an enchantment on it. It reflects my own, so it's doing well. I'm in a good mood. Things are going well. So we've got a lovely big leaves that are like leaning over the edges there. Colorfully like polka dot leaves or something like that. Then I open up my book, grab a book off of the shelf, and it's a book of fairy tales. One of my favorites. It's beautifully illustrated. It's hardcover. Definitely like a collector's edition sort of vibe. You drew the plant. Oh, nice. It's linked. Maybe our houses are nearby. Where's your house? Like beneath a hill. Are you beneath the other hill? By the sea. Maybe the sea is just over the hill and you can become one of my neighbors at some point. This kind of reminds me of Arrival. This game soundtrack right now, I think. Those were some good chords. I like those. Yeah, so I'm gonna open the storytelling book and do my planned reading, where in this illustrated book, there's a great big, well, what fairy tale? Maybe it's like, what's a fairy tale? A good fairy tale? Cinderella. Is that a fairy tale? Right? Not like the Disney one, like the is it Hans Christian Andersen? And as you open the book, then coming out of the painting into life is Cinderella herself, because she can travel through paintings. Maybe it's not necessarily Cinderella. Maybe this is like a neighbor. This is my neighbor of like on the wall. I'm gonna redact or addend some of what I just said. In my house, there's lots of paintings on the wall, and in one of those paintings, it's a painting of maybe it's my mom. Painting my mom, and she can like walk through all the paintings, like the movie paintings in Harry Potter. So she can like, it's a painting of her, but she's like not bound to that single painting, and she can move through different paintings, anything like that. So she walks through all of the beautiful illustrations in the fairy tale book that I read every week, and we read them together, and she kind of like follows along through by walking through all of the different like, excuse me, I'm kind of hungry, which is why I'm sleepy. All of the different gorgeous illustrations, and we do that every week to spend time together. is Monday. 2. Not very many cards we're getting. And so what kind of encounter? A mystery, a dilemma, or a conflict. Oh good, we've got some different suits. An event, yes. Case of mistaken identity. With a sentient hive of bees. On Monday, I decide to go out for some fruit picking. So, you know, I put on like a big sun hat, and I've got a big straw basket, and I'm wearing like a sundress. My overall look is, you know, very floral, very vibrant, very colorful. You can see where this is going, perhaps. So, you know, I leave my home and I go walking on the usual route out away from my home, kind of towards the forest and in the orchards area. And, you know, collecting different fruits off the trees and different berries off the bushes. And along the way, suddenly I hear an incredible buzzing noise that is so loud, it's all in my ears and swarming. It's like my whole head is like covered in bees. And I shriek and drop the basket on the ground and try and bat away at the bees, but instead that angers them even more. And you see, you know, near my tree, there's like a large, very large beehive that is looking at me. How do I know it's looking at me? Well, I don't know, you just know these things. You can definitely have a sense of it looking at me. And I shoo the bees as best I can, and I say, you know, like, hey, leave me alone, what's going on? And the sentient hive of bees replies, no, of course, why would we leave you alone? We need to pollinate you. And I reply, I'm not a flower, leave me alone. And the bees say, oh, we're sorry, we have a case of mistaken identity, unfortunately. You look just like a flower, but they soon realize that I'm definitely not a flower as they try to do their pollination work. And then, because it doesn't work, and then the bees apologize. And I, you know, forgive them and lead them to where I know there's like a big field of flowers. And despite this misunderstanding, we end up, you know, we're on a good page together. And the sentient hive of bees thanks me for my help with the bees, because they were lost a little bit. They were having trouble finding the new flower locations, you know. They've been moving around a lot lately, the flowers as well, migrating, the migratory flowers. And the patterns weren't really like in line with the bees as patterns. The bees were having a lot of trouble with that. It was causing a lot of stress in the sentient beehive. Now it's Tuesday. 4 nights. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. That's another, a mystery, dilemma, or conflict. So 2 spades and 2 hearts. 2 events. Look at, we're just getting events and neighbors. It would be nice to have activities or items, but oh well. 5 and 6. Root vegetables sprout arms, legs, and mobilize. I mean, that tracks with my garden, I guess. I have a garden here. Looks like things are gonna go all over the place now. Discover a pocket dimension. Okay, good. And then 6 and Jack. Ghost and mouse with a sword. Okay. So the Tuesday, I am working in the garden, in the front. This garden. This side is root vegetables. There's like carrots and, oh, it's like that. Oh, can I even find that? Twitter search sucks. Let's see if I can find it. So I'm in my garden, just working away. And then maybe it's time to harvest some of the vegetables that are there. Oh, like this guy. Some of the vegetables start like, or I harvest them into like a pile. Then all of a sudden I look over and the pile is like way less than I thought it was. And then all of a sudden they've been growing arms and legs and mobilized like this. That's what they would look like. That's what I'm thinking. I saw another one where like it was like a Chad carrot. Like I'm walking. I'm gonna walk away. That's what I thought too. I don't know if it's like the head or the angle. It definitely looks like an Among Us carrot. No, I can't find another. That's the best example we've got. But there's more than just carrots. Like, there's lots of root vegetables that we're growing, and there's different colored carrots. And maybe there's also like pumpkins and other squash or that sort of thing. It's fall now, or whatever time it is. It was always fall because we're doing consecutive days, I guess. What was happening now? They mobilize and the carrots discover a pocket dimension. Well, so where could a pocket dimension? How do you discover a pocket dimension? So they start mobilizing my vegetables. And then they form a vegetable army. And then like it's like there's like a lot of them, and they all start, and the ones in the ground that I haven't even harvested yet like start coming up and breaking out of the ground, and they're all just like marching somewhere, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And they've been like called, so I like drop whatever I have and I start to follow them to see like what's going on and where they're going and all that stuff. And then I see them congregating around, like into the field, around a small mouse with a sword who's like, my friends, rise up, and we can overtake everyone that comes in our way. Stop with the eating of our vegetable friends. we are better than this. And he's like wielding his sword back and forth, and once I discover that, I come up to him and I'm like, what are you doing with my vegetables? And I've never seen Adventure Time. I don't know anything. I feel like I would recognize the characters if I googled it. But I don't know anything about Adventure Time. Yeah, so I say to the mouse, like, what have you done to my vegetables? And the mouse says, I have created an army. These are my disciples, and we will fight back against vegetarianism. Wait, why did the mouse be? I can't. And I'd say, like, what? But what are you promoting? Like, carnivores? Aren't you made of meat too? The mouse like looks confused thinks about it for a second and is like, no, never mind that. We're just vegetables against humans. And mice and vegetables against humans, on guard. And he like wields his tiny sword. This tiny sword. Oh, which upon closer inspection is actually like a needle. I'm thinking, what is that, like Tale of Despero, right? Like on the cover of that book there's a little mouse with a little needle. Vegetables Against Humans is a very small activist group, yeah. You haven't heard about us yet. We're up and coming. And I say, like, what inspired you to form this organization? Considering you yourself are not a vegetable. And the mouse pauses and then goes like, how dare you call me not a vegetable? I am a vegetable. And he does another, like, kind of skirts around my feet, doing like a bunch of fancy like sword work, but it's all just like it's all just like choreography and not actually like pain or attacking or anything like that. And I just kind of like look down and watch him do it. I was like, I say, you're starting to make me feel bad about eating these vegetables. And the mouse cuts me off and is like, yes, that's the point. But then I continue and I say, but these vegetables are from my garden. They're to help nourish my body and help me be strong, and so I can keep doing, you know, chores and magic and reading books and that sort of thing. And then I reach down and pick up one of the carrots and I eat it. And the mouse goes like wide-eyed in horror and is like, what, no, whoa. And like scurries up my leg onto my shoulder to try and stop, but I've already like taken a bite of the carrot. Which, like, it still tastes like a carrot, but I sort of feel weird about it because they were like sentient and had legs and arms and were like walking around. But I try not to think about it too much. I just eat the carrot. And the mouse is like, you monster! I knew it! And then moments after I eat the carrot, there's like a translucent little shimmery cloud that appears in front of me that hovers and floats in the air. And for a moment, both myself and the mouse are like hypnotized looking at it. And then we realize that what has materialized is a ghost. The ghost of the carrot that I ate. And I feel really bad because the presence of a ghost like suggests that had a soul, or I don't know, was it alive? It was actually alive and not just controlled alive or something. I don't know. And the carrot ghost says, "Ooh, humans are eating us. And I'm like, well, it's not just humans. Like, have you seen the rabbits and other things? Like, it's all part of, like, the ecosystem, and I'm sorry for eating you, but you were probably going to be eaten by somebody else. And the ghost carrot says, woo, well, not if I grew my legs and ran as fast as I could. I'm like, I don't know if you guys can run that fast, really. And, they're like, well, we can try. Stuart, go, says the carrot ghost. And one of the other carrots just starts running in the opposite direction. It's actually pretty fast. But, you know, like a four-legged creature, like a, I don't know, a dog or a squirrel are pretty fast. Is that your name? I just picked the first name that came into my head while I was telling you. So you, in carrot form, book it away, and surprisingly fast for a carrot, but still could be caught up by any sort of larger animal, like rabbit. You know, rabbits are fast. That's like their thing. I'm sure a rabbit could catch the carrot. But Stuart's gone. I don't know where he went. He's into the forest. And then I'm like, well, you know, we could try and protect you from the other, but it's also like the ecosystem. And I open my dress pocket where I keep my pocket dimension, and I say, if you want to hide in here for safety, you can do that. But just keep in mind that, like, I don't remember what else I put in here. I don't really know. I haven't been in here. It's my pocket dimension. I haven't actually gone there myself. So it could be even more dangerous. And the mouse, like, looks at me and looks back at the vegetable army. And they all kind of shrug and they're like, some of them are like, oh, they say, we'll take our chances out here. Now that we've grown legs and arms, we are a bit more able to defend ourselves from some predators. And this could disrupt things, but you know, I think we're pretty satisfied with where we're at. And Mouse wields his needle sword once again and does another, like, choreography thing. And says, you must defend yourself, find yourselves whatever sort of weapon you can find, and I will teach you the art of swordsmanship. And some of them, like, are agreeable. And then they all kind of go off on their own, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I gotta make new dinner plans because my vegetables ran away. That's it. That's the end of that day. That was a long day. Oh. Long day, a lot of day. Should we do one more day? Honestly, I'm getting pretty hungry. Okay, I'm gonna do one more day, and that's gonna be the end. The last day, I mean. And then I'm gonna eat something. 5 cards, wow. And it's gonna be a an unexpected encounter. We're gonna pick and choose. Just because I kind of want, we're gonna pick and choose the diamond and clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I want to experience some of the top stuff. Like spade, here's some clubs, and there we go. There's our clubs and diamonds. Tend your garden. Well, we did that. Paint a mural on your wall. Clay jar sealed with wax. Double rainbow. Aww. Elemental. Hopefully it's not a fire elemental. Oh, I wish we could have got 3 raccoons in a trench coat. That's good. So I'll be outside tending to my garden. And suddenly, as I'm digging into my garden, I look up and there's a beautiful double rainbow in the sky. And then while digging in the new section of the garden that we're clearing out to get more areas for the plants, I come across a clay jar sealed with wax that was buried in the ground. And looking at it, it's curious, hard to tell what it could be, and I open it up, and inside it looks like there's some kind of liquid in there. Smells like paint. Looks like it could be paint, but there's not really a color to it. It's kind of like silvery, like mercury kind of, but it kind of changes every time the lighting changes. And I go inside and then I take this jar with me and I grab a paintbrush and dip it into this liquid and see, and then I kind of run it onto a stone portion of the wall, and it becomes this like beautiful shimmery, like it's like every color paint. Any color that you want it to be, it is. So using that, I begin to spend the rest of my afternoon painting a beautiful mural on the wall, inspired by the double rainbow that I saw outside in that morning. It includes like the grassy beautiful hills and bright blue sky. There will be some of the local birds. Maybe I'll draw in the mouse. I didn't get the mouse's name. The mouse with the sword and some of the vegetable army. And then we'll draw Stuart the carrot in the corner too, just to commemorate. And that mysterious purple urn that we encountered. And I'll make sure like there's a section for my mom to be in, since she can walk through all the different like paintings. Once this portrait is finished, she can kind of walk through this mural as well to enjoy the double rainbows. There's probably like flowers everywhere, that sort of thing. Yeah. And it turns out gorgeous. A gorgeous mural. We'll draw a chicken on there too, just to bring it full circle with my chicken theming of the beginning of the stream that we kind of stepped away from a little bit. All right. Well, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up there. For now, I need to eat dinner. I'm getting hungry. We took it one day at a time. That's a fun one. I like that. I like this kind of structure. We could probably make something similar to that, honestly, with just drawing cards and rolling the dice. But yeah, so that'll be it for today's stream. I will see you all next week at the same time, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. I put it on a schedule on Twitch if that's at all helpful, because I've been keeping up and I feel good about that. It's been fun. I have a lot of fun with this, with these streams and these games that I've been working through. But yeah, have a good rest of your weekend. Happy Easter. Happy long weekend if you got a long weekend. Yeah, and take care. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, everybody.